Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, but something a little bit different. We're going to dive into the intraday charts. I'm going to show you what I'm watching on the 4-hour time frame and why I think a move up toward 40 to 42,000 still seems likely here over the next few days. Now, if you guys are enjoying this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so that you get notifications, because I am putting out these videos every day, Monday through Friday. Okay, so Bitcoin, we have discussed the $35,000 area and 40 to 42,000 resistance at length here over the last few weeks. So if you did miss those videos, be sure to go back and watch them, because I detail everything there, including why 35,000 is so significant for Bitcoin. Okay, so today though, I want to deep dive into the intraday charts, show you what's going on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so the very first thing I want to point out here is that this move off of 33,000 and the subsequent higher highs and higher lows we've seen here over the past few days, this is actually an ascending channel that's formed. Okay, so off of these two lows back here, you can see where we have this ascending channel that's formed off of the $33,000 low. Okay, now these closing prices back here, remember this is the 4-hour chart, so I tend to look at everything on a daily closing basis. And as you guys know, I did have, and I still do have, a long spot position on with an average rate somewhere around $38,000. Okay, now the reason for that is because I was buying Bitcoin all the way from 42,000 down here toward 35. So I detailed all of this out over the last few weeks. The reason I stayed in that position, even when Bitcoin dropped down here toward 33, is because notice how the day never closed below 35,000. So that's the key here. So remember that when we're looking at the 4-hour chart, even though you see all of these closing prices down here, the day never actually closed below 35,000, and that's what matters. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, going back to this, you can see where we have this ascending channel, and at the moment, this area right down here, okay, just above 36,000 is going to be support. And this is kind of why I think that we could see that move up toward 40 to 42,000 over the coming days if this ascending channel stays intact. Okay, because imagine a scenario where we had the move up here to resistance, we got the move down here to support. Right now, we've just had some sideways consolidation in this support area. Now, if Bitcoin can break above these highs, okay, right around 37,500, if we do get that breakout, then I think we see 40,000 potentially up toward 42,000 here over the next few days, basically before January closes out. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm eyeing right now here on the 4-hour time frame. And I also want to show you how this ascending channel combines with a larger descending one. Okay, so still in the 4-hour time frame, if we move out, look at this entire downtrend. You can see where ever since this high up here, we have this massive descending channel that's been in place ever since November of last year. Okay, now this pattern, if we look at the 8-hour time frame, you can actually see where the bottom of this channel even extends off of some of these lows back here. Okay, so if we drag this up a little bit, you can see where we have this low back here. We obviously have the December 4th liquidation candle, and then we have these lows through here. Now you can also see on the top of this pattern, we have this high and also this one. So we have a very well-worn descending channel ever since this November high back here. Remember, that was Bitcoin's all-time high right around $69,000. So since that time, we've just had this series of lower highs and lower lows. And then we have this smaller ascending channel where we have higher highs and higher lows ever since that $33,000 bottom. And last but not least too, let's not forget about the April trend line that we've also discussed before. So moving down here to the daily chart, you can see where we have this trend line that extends off of the April high. Okay, so this high back here connects with this one. It served as support right after that December 4th liquidation candle, and then Bitcoin broke below it, and now it's serving as resistance. This level also comes in just above $42,000. Okay, so let me show you the two scenarios that I'm eyeing based on everything that we just discussed. So going back to the 4-hour chart, as long as Bitcoin stays inside of this ascending channel, then I'm looking for, as I said, that move up here toward 40 to 42 to really test this area, because it is going to be a huge area for Bitcoin. You can see even as a horizontal area over the past few months, And in fact, over the last 12 months, this area has been incredibly significant, and the market now is trading below it on a daily and weekly closing basis. So 40 to 42 is going to be the hinge for whether or not we see Bitcoin break out toward 45 to 46,000, or if we see another rotation lower over the coming weeks. It is all going to hinge on 40 to 42,000. So this is going to be a massive test for the market. And that's also kind of why I think we do get that retest, because areas like this tend to serve as magnets, okay? Because if you notice, we had the break below it, but we haven't had a retest as new resistance just yet. So I do think that over the next 2 or 3 days, maybe this weekend, we do get a move up here into 40,000, potentially all the way up to 42. Okay, now another scenario that I'm eyeing is the potential for a rotation lower from that area and another low, because remember that right now, this is a downtrend. We have lower highs, lower lows. In order to reverse that, we need to see higher highs and higher lows. So even a retest of 40 to 42 is not going to cut it. This is going to be resistance. We would need to see Bitcoin actually break above 42, close above 42,000 to expose 45 to 46,000 and potentially $50,000. Until that time comes, guys, 40 to 42 is going to be very strong resistance. So we all know about $30,000 support, right? If you look out here over the last 12 months, it has been an incredibly strong support level, really the strongest support level in the last 12 months, arguably. So if we were to see a rotation lower from 40 to 42, let's just assume that Bitcoin fails to get above that this time, then what we could see on the 4-hour chart is something like this, where we get a failure between 40 and 42. So the market does test this area over the coming days. We then get a break below this short-term ascending channel. Okay, so it closes below this area, and it also breaks below 35, okay, over the coming weeks. And then we get that move down toward 29 to 30,000. And look what it intersects with, the bottom of that descending channel. Okay, so there is a scenario where Bitcoin fails to get above 40 to 42, and then we do get that rotation lower down into $30,000. Now, as I mentioned the other day, if we do see 40 to 42,000 here over the coming days, I'm going to exit part of my position, maybe half of my position, for a slight profit, just because I don't necessarily trust this market right now. If we did close above 42, I can always get back in. So if Bitcoin closed above 42, I can enter back into that position, add on what I took off, and it's all good. But I don't trust this market at the moment enough to just hold it if we see that retest of 40 to 42,000. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm eyeing right now, guys. I mean, really, 40 to 42 is going to be key for this market. Bitcoin has to get above that in order to turn higher. If it doesn't, then we very well could see at least a retest of the $35,000 area, if not that move down here toward 30,000. Okay, so really, it all comes down to 40 to 42. Get above that, we see Bitcoin reverse this downtrend of lower highs and lower lows. If not, if we see a rejection from 40 to 42, we at least, in my opinion, see a retest of 35, if not a full retest of that $30,000 area. All right, guys, so I hope that that helped you navigate this market. I know things are still very kind of indecisive right now at the moment, and it is just consolidation within a downtrend. Keep that in mind. Even though we're seeing that bounce from 33,000, this is an established downtrend. We need to see higher highs, higher lows in order to reverse that downtrend. Until that time, guys, sellers are in control, so just be careful out there. All right, guys, hope the video helped. If it did, subscribe, click the bell icon to get notifications, smash that like button, and leave your comment below. I will talk to you guys again on Monday.